So what I've heard from those of you who have been in touch with me is that you're working hard to conduct academically responsible, well-documented observations of well-chosen sites that speak clearly to the goals of the assignment. And thank you very much for that. For those of you that I haven't heard from, I'll assume you're also doing all that stuff too. And so thank you for now. All right, so I wanted to keep this quick, so let's just get into week 3. There's plenty to do, but most of it is stuff that you have to do. Mainly what it is you've got your data, it's time to write the essay. Once you write the essay, it's time to give and receive peer review, excuse me, and then prepare a final draft for submission for a grade. All right, so let's see, a couple of screencasts that I put up top here. This one I would beg you to watch. It's going to be a pretty important one in terms of what I just said. I have all this data. I took all these notes. Maybe I snapped a few pictures. What do I do with that data from here? How do I take what I have and mold it, manipulate it into an argument? Manipulate, probably not the right word, but you see what I'm getting at. Now, the screencast has a present. I kind of go through a presentation, and there's a link to that as well that you're welcome to check out. It's it's more supplemental in nature. It's not like a full-blown presentation like I sometimes give, but it still might be useful, maybe like to print off or something. So I'll share the link with you there. And as always, if you have any questions about anything you see in a screencast or that you read in an agenda or on an assignment, please email me. So some of you are so good at that, and some of you have made me some really great promises in your first invention journal about what kind of student I can expect you to be this semester. And oh my goodness, I can't wait to hold that promise to you. So here's to a great semester. I'm very excited to see many of you continue your successes in writing, growth and development and progress. And I'm excited to see how all of us sort of finish out this academic year. Okay, so the screencast and presentation, strongly advise you to watch it. I'm going to move this up here. Look at this, editing in action. You are so lucky to see it a little bit behind the curtain. All right, this old peer review screencast, this is for my new students. I have a handful of students who did not have me last semester. If you had me last semester, it's my strong assumption that you got the hang of peer review after we did it 4 times. But if you still have questions, this is a screencast that I made last year, 2 years ago, that kind of runs it down. I haven't changed it much fundamentally because it seems to work. I'm always, I'm all ears, so if you have any suggestions for how I do peer review, please let me know. But if you are new to me, if I am new to you, please take the time to watch the screencast and to follow the instructions. And the rest of you, those of you that had me last semester, I hope I can count on you to be, if need be, patient, helpful, lightly instructive of what I'm looking for out of writing, and also how to conduct peer review and anything else. If you had me last semester, you just know me better. I mean, that's just the nature of things. And so I hope you'll share any knowledge or wisdom you've gained about working with me, for, well, now what, 17 weeks already, and translate that into helpful advice to any new students that you may, whose names you might not have recognized from last semester. And again, for my handful of new students, if you ever have any questions, I am eternally an email away. Ask around. I really like getting and responding to emails. It's my thing. All right. So what can I tell you here? A couple of important bolded things. Now, I am teaching face-to-face when the spreadsheet goes down, so I'm going to basically click on the spreadsheet. I'm going to block access or edit access to everybody at 9 a.m. on the dot, because that's right when I start teaching my my face-to-face class, or one of them. Okay, so make sure you're managing your time. I'll say a little more about that in a minute. Don't let this question get too far past you. What is the purpose of your observation site? What are people at the place you've observed, or are observing, or will observe? What is the goal of that place? What do people go there to do? Okay, and then you can kind of filter your observations through whether or not personal digital technology helps them fulfill that purpose, gets in their way, has little effect, has more effect than you thought, whatever you see. Okay, so don't give that short shrift, and don't just say people go to a restaurant to eat food. People go to McDonald's for specific reasons. People go to fancy restaurants for specific reasons. People go to, the Outback Steakhouse, usually to eat a steak the size of a toilet seat. So think about that and the further you can drill down in terms of what does my site, my observation site, provide to society? What do people go there for? You're doing good work. Okay. Gosh, if I said this enough, I don't want the story of your data collection. If it is just I went there, I took notes, and these are the notes I took at the end, you're not passing. I've said it enough. Let's see. I've said so much of this already in the observation screencast, so I'm sorry to repeat myself, but good teaching is mostly repetition. All right, so you use your observations and yourself as an option to support the argument that you build. So just again, it's worth saying it out loud one more time. Again, if you're watching this screencast first, you're going to hear that a lot in the subsequent screencast. Okay, what else? I don't like teaching from sample essays. Let me make myself big. Personal apologies for teaching from sample essays. I don't really believe in it. I think that showing you how one student was successful doesn't lead you to you being successful. I don't think A creates B in this situation, but some students are very comfortable with seeing what previous students have done that have had successful essays, and I do that for your comfort levels. I don't feel like it's not a very strong instructional tool. It's not something I care to lean on very heavily, so I'm not going to say much more about that. But if you want to see what other observations essays look like, I always try to pull 2 or 3 of the most compelling ones from the previous semester and put them in for future students. So I'll be doing that too, 3, 4 of you when I finally grade your rough draft, or your final drafts, excuse me. Lots of readings from the textbook, and again, I don't enforce the readings too closely, but they will inform your writing at the sentence level and even bigger at the idea level. But this especially if you're having trouble with writing effective sentences or avoiding errors, these chapters are great at reminding you of those. Okay, moving along. For your rough draft of essay 1, I want 600 plus words. All right, I want you well onto the second page so that peer review can at least be somewhat fruitful. I hope you have a lot more. I know most of you will. I know which ones of you will have a lot longer of a rough draft, and my sincere gratitude for that. The more you write, the more help you can get. Okay, that's always going to be true. You want to make sure you put 3 questions in your draft. It's just as simple as highlighting. I do Control-Alt-M, and then the comment box comes up. You type your question, you click comment. Okay, it gives your peer reviewer something to go off of. You know all this, so just in case you have a bit of a brain drain over the holiday break, I'm here to remind you. All right, so when you're done with your rough draft, when you're ready for it to be reviewed, when you're ready to participate in peer review, you will post it to this spreadsheet. You'll put your name, you'll put your email, please type it correctly, Stark State or Gmail only, whichever one you're using for the document, and then you put the link in here. Okay, and if you want to use a bit.ly, that you would be doing me and everyone else a favor if you shorten your URL. Okay, so you post, so here's you, okay, here's me, here's I don't know, Hank. All right, so I post first, here's my link, okay, or you post first, excuse me, then when I post, I get to peer review your essay. When Hank posts, he peer reviews mine. When Sally posts, she reviews Hank's. Now, you go down to 2. You know this step by now, though. If you're first, the second person to post gets peer reviewed twice, and that's the biggest glitch in the system. Anyway, most of you know that. I'm not going to belabor that because there's a whole screencast devoted to it. Let's see. So by Friday, February 2nd, please complete the following. Okay, provide peer review and follow the guidelines. This is the big change from last semester. Is instead of taking like a week to ponder our options and revise very thoughtfully, we have to condense that a little bit because not very many college classes period have this elongated due date assignment schedule where you get to turn in a rough draft and get feedback and revise it, all over a series of weeks. This is a 200 level class, and I wanted to prepare you for other 200 level, 300, 400 level classes where you'll have to turn the work around in a very quick way. And so to that end, our big difference is you'll provide peer review on Friday the 2nd, and then the turnaround is very quick. But so the posting is quick. If you wait until Thursday to post your essay, then you only have a day to do peer review. And then once you have peer review, you have a weekend to revise it. So I do that by design. I do that with your overall, academic skill set in mind. Okay. But the good news is, I'll go big once again because this is important. This is really kind of a self-paced portion of the course. You can complete your rough draft very early, because as soon as you post your rough draft, you can complete peer review and you can have your essay peer reviewed, which means the sooner you're on it. Remember last week I said, 2 weeks ago I said pick a site quickly, and last week when I said do your observation earlier rather than later, well, this is where all those sort of chickens come home to roost. You can really accelerate your process here and get to the next essay, get to the digital Sabbath much quicker than in other contexts. So the bad news part of that is if you wait too long to do your observation, it's just necessarily going to make you wait too long to conduct to write your rough draft, which makes conducting peer review down the road, too far down the road, maybe. So sweat it out till the last second if you want, but I hope that I had a lot of promises in the IJ1s to I'm going to get a better start on my essays this semester. So prove it. Put your money where your mouth is. All right. What else? Okay. Revise, prepare essay 1 final draft, and then I have a spreadsheet for when the final draft is graded. Only post it when you're ready for it to be graded. I'll have it up. It'll be a dedicated tab in my on my computers, my laptop and my desktop here. And as soon as your essay 1 final draft is posted, I will grade it the first time I see it. I only look at the spreadsheet when I have a time and when I'm in the headspace to grade. So put it on there, but no, you can't take it off and put it back on once I grade it, just to be clear. And then you have a couple additional readings that might flesh out your understanding of what qualitative research sort of aspires to and accomplishes. So this will end our time on the observation essay. It's I hope you're having a little bit of fun with this one. I designed all these assignments with enjoyability in mind, and I hope that's happening here. So if it's not, let me know how I can make this assignment a little more enjoyable outside of it being a writing assignment. There's no reason for you not to email me. Okay, let me wrap it up here by saying that I want your emails. I want you to not be confused. So if you're wondering anything, chances are I can help you out, as long as you look everywhere first. You know my rules. But other than that, I wish you luck. I really am looking forward to seeing what your observations have taught you, not only about the place that you've observed, but also about maybe the primary research process. We'll do some reflections at the end of the semester about things you're taking away from this class, and I bet data collection becomes one of them. So anyway, best of luck with your observations. If you have any questions for me, let me know, and good luck with everything. I hope you do well.